Bao Island Storyteller, Journey to the West. Hey kids, welcome to Bao Island. On Bao Island, every story has a taste. Today's taste is lighthouse wind and warm mung bean sweetness. This episode, we're in Eluanbi. Today's story, Laozi claims his disciples.
Welcome back to the Bao Island bus. I'm your captain. We've driven to the very end of the island, Eluanbi, the southernmost point of Taiwan. The lighthouse behind us is one of the most powerful in East Asia, built during the Qing dynasty to guide ships through the treacherous Bashi Channel. Beyond here, the next stop is the Philippines.
I'm standing at the bottom of Taiwan. Everything north of me is the island. South of me, just open sea, all the way to the tropics.
Eluanbi comes from the Taiwan indigenous language. It means sail, because the shape of this cape looks like a ship's sail from the sea. The lighthouse was originally built with a defensive wall around it. This was pirate territory, and the lighthouse keepers needed protection.
And heading east from here into Manjhou Township, there's the Jialeshuei coast, sea-sculpted rock formations along the shoreline, shaped by Pacific waves into frogs, honeycombs, and mushrooms. Nature's sculpture gallery.
Looking around, the wind here is relentless. My hair is going in every direction. But the ocean is incredible. You can see where the Bashi Channel starts. The water just stretches forever.
It's relevant to today's story. Because today's story is very much about what happens when the most powerful celestial figure of all, not the Jade Emperor, but someone arguably above him, steps in. And what he reveals makes everyone look at the last 3 episodes very differently.
Very intriguing. Okay. Last time, both demon kings were inside the gourd. What happens next?
There's something here, something you can only taste on Bao Island. The Luoshan wind blows all the way down from the mountains to the sea, and everything it touches, it sweetens.
Excited, what is it? Tell me.
Take a guess.
Mouth full, let me take a bite first. Excitedly, we're back to onion pancake. I got a second one. I regretted not having a second one last time.
No regrets today.
Enthusiastically, no regrets. The Hengchun sweet onion, grown right here in the foothills of Qing's mountains, mixed into a thick batter with eggs and scallions, cooked in hot oil until the outside is this perfect lacy gold and the inside stays pillowy soft. It's the sweetness that gets you every time. Not sugar sweet. Onion sweet. The way something can be deeply savory and still have this round natural sweetness underneath.
Hengchun onion is a protected geographical indication. Legally, you can only call it Hengchun onion if it's actually grown in Hengchun.
Like champagne only from Champagne?
Exactly right.
Eating contentedly, I think this is the best one I've had. They put a little extra egg in this batch and it's even creamier inside. Okay. Both demon kings in the gourd. The sun came up the next morning. What happened?
The group had camped on the mountainside. At first light, Sun Wukong walked over to the gourd and shook it lightly. He could hear nothing. Nothing moved inside.
Quietly, they dissolved?
He opened the seal carefully. And yes, both demon kings, the Golden Horn King and the Silver Horn King, were gone. Nothing remained. The gourd had done its work.
Conflicted, I feel kind of. I know they were demons who were trying to eat Tang Monk and dissolve Sun Wukong, but still. That's a grim ending.
That's a very human response. The story will also have a response to that.
What does Sun Wukong feel?
Sun Wukong felt victory. Relief. He held up the 5 captured treasures, the gourd, the jade bottle, the golden rope, the plantain fan, the 7 swords, laid them out in front of Tang Monk, and said, "Master. Done. The road is clear."
He won. He actually, completely won that arc.
3 episodes of fighting one enemy. Sun Wukong had to escape the gourd, steal it back, disguise as the demon's mother, fight 4 separate rounds, and finally use the demon's own weapon to end it. That took everything he had.
Tang Monk pressed his palms together and said a prayer of thanks. Sandy and Pigsy cheered. It was a genuine moment of collective relief.
And then someone showed up.
And then someone showed up. A light appeared in the sky. Not the normal light of morning, a different quality. Brilliant and still, like a lamp rather than a fire. It descended slowly toward them from the direction of heaven.
Odd, who was it?
Laozi, the Qing Grand Supreme Elder Lord. One of the 3 supreme celestial deities of Taoism. The one who wrote the Tao Te Ching. The immortal above immortals. He descended on a cloud of pure white light and landed on the mountain in front of them.
Stunned, Laozi came down? In person?
In person. Tang Monk and his disciples dropped to their knees immediately. Even Sun Wukong, who has famously refused to kneel for anyone except the Buddha, bowed his head.
Laozi is that serious?
In the hierarchy of this universe, Laozi is above the Jade Emperor. He's the maker of immortality pills, the origin of Taoist thought, the one whose furnace Sun Wukong was once thrown into and survived.
Right. The furnace. Sun Wukong spent 49 days in Laozi's furnace back in episode 5. And that's what gave him his golden fire-seeing eyes.
Laozi looked at the 5 treasures laid out on the ground. And he said, "I wondered where those went."
Pause, what?
I wondered where those went. He looked at the gourd, the bottle, the rope, the fan, the swords, and he said them, naming each one, like a man who'd been looking for his tools in the garage and finally found them.
Slowly realizing, those are Laozi's things?
Laozi said, "These are my 5 treasures. They were kept in my Tashita palace in the highest heavens." He paused. I had 2 servant boys. The golden boy of the golden furnace and the jade boy of the jade furnace. They served me faithfully for many years. He looked at the now empty gourd. 3 months ago, they quarreled about which one was more valued. In their arrogance, they stole my 5 treasures and ran down to the mortal world. They turned themselves into demon kings on this mountain. And they have been causing trouble ever since.
Long silence. The demons were Laozi's servant boys.
The Golden Horn King and the Silver Horn King, the 2 most dangerous demons Tang Monk's group had faced in 100 chapters, were not ancient evil monsters. They were celestial servants having a tantrum.
Stunned, they stole their master's things and ran away from home. And everyone, Sun Wukong, Tang Monk, Sandy, Pigsy, suffered through 3 episodes of battles and traps and kidnapping because of a quarrel between 2 heavenly teenagers.
That's the story. That is literally the story.
Speaking of things being revealed at the last moment, let's walk along the Jialeshuei coast in Manjhou Township. The rock formations here are extraordinary.
These rocks look like they were sculpted on purpose. That one looks exactly like a frog. And that one looks like a honeycomb.
They were sculpted, by the Pacific waves, over thousands of years. The soft sandstone erodes faster than the harder rock, creating these strange organic shapes. Every few decades, the shapes change slightly as the ocean keeps working.
Manjhou is on the windward side of the peninsula. The Pacific slams into this coast with full force. The wind here is some of the strongest in Taiwan.
I can feel it. My jacket is flapping like a flag.
The local people call this stretch of coast Nature's Gallery. You walk along the shore path and every 20 meters there's a new formation: mushroom rock, frog rock, beehive rock.
Delighted, perfect. We walk along the coast while we deal with the huge revelation that the Demon Kings were basically two runaway celestial boys with daddy's keys.
Laughing, that is an accurate summary.
Walking and thinking. Continue.
After Laozi explained, Sun Wukong looked at him for a long moment. Then he said, and this is important, he said, Elder Lord. With respect. If your servant boys caused all this suffering, the kidnapping of my master, the battles, the demon army, why didn't you stop them sooner?
Impressed, he asked.
Laozi didn't get angry at the question. He looked at Sun Wukong with an expression that was not quite a smile. And he said, Great sage. That is a question that touches the deepest nature of heaven's ways. He paused. The purpose of the road to the west is not only to bring scriptures back to the east. The road is to teach the pilgrims who walk it. Each obstacle, each demon, each difficulty exists so that Tang monk and his disciples may grow. If I removed every demon before you arrived, what would you have learned?
Quietly, so Laozi knew.
He knew. He had been watching the whole time.
He let his own servant boys run away with his treasures and cause chaos, so that Sun Wukong's group would have something to overcome.
Or, and this is the harder reading, the situation arose because of the servant boy's own choices, and rather than simply erasing the consequences, heaven allowed the consequences to play out. And in playing out, something valuable was created.
The difference between a guardian who protects you from everything, and a guardian who watches you learn from something difficult.
Slowly, that's both comforting and kind of alarming.
Welcome to Journey to the West's Philosophy.
Climbing out of the pool, okay. Hot springs, philosophical crisis, now food. Mung bean soup, Checheng style.
What makes Checheng mung bean soup different?
Enthusiastically, so, the name translates literally as mung bean garlic. What they do here is let the mung beans soak so long and cook so gently that they split open and splay out like little flowers, like they're fully open. Some places cook mung beans until they're soft but still whole. Here, they're completely surrendered to the water. The texture is silky smooth. The broth is light and sweet with just a touch of natural starchiness. And it's served warm, not cold like dessert tong sui in the north, because they eat it as a summer cool-down but also as a warming comfort drink in the evening.
It's a very old local style. The families in Checheng who make this have recipes going back 4 and 5 generations.
Drinking from a bowl, after the hot spring and after 3 episodes of demon battles, this is the perfect thing. Gentle. Sweet. Warm. Nothing complicated. Just beans and water and time.
Sometimes after a big battle, the best thing is something simple.
Sun Wukong deserves a bowl of this.
I'll tell him. Laozi reached out his hand and the 5 treasures lifted off the ground by themselves, the gourd, the jade bottle, the golden rope, the fan, the swords, and floated back to him. He gathered them as calmly as picking up dropped keys.
Disappointed on Sun Wukong's behalf, he took everything. Sun Wukong fought so hard for those.
Sun Wukong watched the gourd and the bottle and the rope float away and tried very hard to keep his expression neutral.
Laughing, he wanted to say something.
He definitely wanted to say something. Tang monk put a hand on his arm. Sun Wukong said nothing.
What happened to the servant boys themselves? Did Laozi bring them back to life?
Laozi said, the mortal world has its laws. They took mortal world form, they caused mortal world damage. But they were celestial beings in origin, and their celestial spirit remains. He opened the gourd, which was now empty of demon residue, and held it out. 2 small lights drifted out of the mountain air and settled into the gourd. He closed it gently.
Their spirits were still there?
In the logic of this world, a celestial being doesn't truly dissolve even when their mortal form body does. Their spirit returns to its origin. Laozi was collecting them to take back.
Quietly, he came to bring his boys home.
That's one way to read it.
A parent collecting 2 children who ran away and got into serious trouble.
They will have a very uncomfortable conversation on the way back to heaven.
Laughing, extremely uncomfortable. Laozi bowed once to Tang monk, nodded to Sun Wukong, and rose back into the sky. In a moment the white light was gone. After Laozi left, Sun Wukong sat down on a rock and was quiet for a while. This is unusual for him.
He's thinking.
Pigsy asked, "Brother, what's wrong?" "We won. The demons are gone. Master is safe." Sun Wukong said, "I know." Pigsy said, "So why do you look like that?" Sun Wukong said, "I'm thinking about the furnace."
Laozi's furnace, the one that gave him his golden eyes.
Sun Wukong said to no one in particular, "I spent 49 days in his furnace. I thought it was a punishment. I thought it was supposed to destroy me. I came out with fire-seeing eyes, and I went straight back to fighting everyone." He paused. "And now I wonder, was that also on purpose? Was the furnace also a teaching?"
Softly, "Oh."
That's a hard question to sit with.
Sun Wukong said, "If the servant boys causing trouble down here was part of the road's design, then everything that has ever happened to me might be part of a design I can't fully see." He looked up at the sky where Laozi had disappeared. "I don't know if I find that comforting or infuriating."
Thinking, both, probably. Both at once.
Sandy said very quietly, because Sandy is usually the quiet one, "Brother Wukong. Even if someone designed the road, you still had to walk it. Even if someone watched from above, you still made your choices. The walking is yours. That doesn't go away."
Moved, Sandy said that?
Sandy said exactly that.
Sandy is underrated. Everyone always talks about Sun Wukong and Pigsy. But Sandy.
Sandy has been paying attention the whole time.
Tang monk stood up, adjusted his robes, and looked north. "We have a long road ahead. The west is still west. The scriptures are still waiting."
Tang monk doesn't do philosophical crises for long.
That's one of Tang monk's gifts and also his limitation. He doesn't get lost in doubt. He gets up and keeps going. Sometimes that's what the situation needs.
And they went?
They went. For travelers heading north and west. The gourd and the bottle gone back to Laozi. 5 legendary treasures all gone. But the group was whole, the road was clear, and Sun Wukong was walking with something new turning over in his mind.
The idea that even the things that hurt might have been part of a larger shape.
And not knowing whether to be angry about that or at peace with it.
That's a very grown-up problem.
Sun Wukong has been alive for thousands of years and is still figuring it out. Nobody said growing up has a deadline.
Let's finish today at the lighthouse. The evening light is hitting the tower now.
The lighthouse is so white against the sky. And the wall around it makes it look like a little fortress.
The Eluanbi lighthouse is the most powerful in Taiwan. Its beam reaches over 50 kilometers out to sea. It has been guiding ships since the Qing dynasty. The Bashi Channel below is one of the most treacherous shipping lanes in the world. Many vessels have wrecked on these reefs.
The lighthouse stands on a raised coral platform. From up here you can see the ocean curving away in every direction. It's the kind of view that makes you feel very small and very awake at the same time.
I like that. A light that just keeps shining, no matter what.
In a story full of cosmic battles and celestial schemes and demons with 5 legendary weapons, this lighthouse at the tip of the island is a reminder that some things just keep doing their job, quietly, for a very long time. Most of life is not a battle with a demon king. Most of life is showing up.
And the things that feel like demon kings, difficult situations, hard obstacles, sometimes turn out to be someone's celestial servant boys throwing a tantrum with borrowed equipment.
Laughing quietly, that's one way to put it.
The actual demon is usually smaller than it looks. And eventually someone comes to collect it.
Time to wrap up. The lighthouse beam is starting to pulse against the darkening sky, and the Bashi Channel is turning from blue to black.
Today we stood at the southernmost tip of Taiwan, Eluanbi Lighthouse, the end of the island road, and walked the wind-sculpted coast of Jialeshuei in Manjhou. We had Hengchun onion pancake, sweet and crispy and worth every trip south. We had Checheng mung bean soup, silky and gentle and just right after battles. And we heard the final chapter of the Golden Horn and Silver Horn arc, Sun Wukong's complete victory, Laozi's descent, the revelation that the demons were celestial runaways with stolen tools, and Sun Wukong sitting quietly on a rock wondering if even his own suffering was part of a shape he couldn't see.
And Sandy said, even if someone designed the road, you still had to walk it. The walking is yours.
That one stays with me.
What's next? We're heading north from the tip now?
North to Checheng Township, the town with the biggest earth god temple in Taiwan and famous mung bean soup. And the story continues, more demons, more disguises, more celestial complications. But the monkey king who continues that road is carrying something new.
What is he carrying?
A question he can't fully answer yet. And a road that keeps going anyway. Softly, even if someone designed the road, you still had to walk it and the walking is yours. On Bao Island, stories grow up with you.